Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's going on, everybody? What is going on? I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay Moore, the healthy accountant. What are we doing? We're helping you to account for your life. What an awesome and incredible day today. Look, here's what we're talking about. We are talking about how to be a master of your life, even if you have no clue where to start. Do you want to look? Do you have a desire to master your life? Do you have the desire to be, and I gotta get my camera fixed here, to be the person that you have been created to be in your life? Look, I'm so glad you asked, and I'm super excited because today is the day. Here's what today is. Look, today is the day when we all can decide to be a master. Today is the day when we all can say, you know what, man, look, it's no better time. It's no better time to learn something. It's no better time to do something. And it's no better time to change into the person that we've had that desire in our hearts to be. And guys, I want to share some with you as we get started. And because I was trying to figure some things out yesterday. Yesterday, I was sitting outside of Starbucks, and it was one of the most beautiful afternoons. I'm sitting outside, and I got a little iced coffee. I got my books, and I'm writing down notes because I'm trying to figure out, man, like mastering life. What is mastering life? Like, what is that for real? And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, just trying to figure out, man, how did I get here? You ever ask yourself the question, how you got to a place, like maybe you decided to become you decided to become something in a specific career. Me and my wife Jenny was just talking about my son. We were talking about kind of like college and how we got into what it is that we chose to do. I chose to be an accountant. And then thinking about, well, how did I get here? But then moving forward and thinking about this life mastery thing, there was a time when I had no clue. You ever got to the point where you just felt like you just don't know what the heck you're doing with your life? You just don't know what the heck or how things work. And I remember not knowing anything about life. Now, I knew the basics, right? Because I got married, I had kids, and once you become a father or mother, it's almost like you hit life mastery fairly quickly, because now you got kids. Now you actually have to help them. You got to show them, and that's the key word. You got to show them. See, mastery requires showing. We have to show something about our life. We have to not just say it. People don't learn anything by us saying it. I wish, man, you could be listening to this podcast and you learn nothing, right? Because how are you going to just learn from hearing? How are you going to learn just because someone said something? So, and as I was thinking about this life mastery and kind of how I got to one of the things I thought about is how did I start using my time at one point? I want you to write this down. Because the key to mastering life starts with this concept of time. I just want you to write that word down. Time. Time is the key. And, way back when, and I say way back when, because the journey started somewhere around 2012. Man, we're 10 years out. 10 years ago, there was no life mastery. There was no idea of life mastery until there was an idea. And I'm going to tell you exactly where I got the idea from. But before I tell you that, where was I in 2012? I was making a decision to join. Check this out. I made a decision to join a network marketing company. So life mastery, me deciding that I would master my own life started with one decision: join a network marketing company. Have you ever done network marketing? Most of us have tried it at least once. And in trying it, that first, well, it wasn't even my first time. It was probably my third or fourth time joining a network marketing company. But this time I wanted it to be different. You ever get to the point where you say, it's going to be different this time. It's not going to be the same as the last time. I'm actually going to make some money this time. And, I made a little bit of money, just enough to keep me in. Literally, just enough to keep me in. But here's what I did get. I got promoted a bunch of times. And in getting promoted, I got a couple of awards. And I was like, man, it's worth sticking in. But here's what I learned in using my time different. Because if you're going to master your life, you got to start with using your time in a different way. You ever wanted to stop doing something in your life? I remember, I know I got a lot of stories here. Back in those days when I used to still drink, because I used to drink, I drank, and I drank a good amount too, man. I used to love me some, some beer. I had my 6-packs and whatever, I'd purchase, and I was a Christian, but here's the thing, that didn't make me not want to have my drinks. And so I used to still drink, I would go out and I did those things, and that's how I was using my time. See, when you understand this concept of time, when you make the decision that, I'm going to change my life and I'm going to be a master of my own life. This is not mastering somebody else's life. This is not mastering something other than life. This is mastering your life. And so the first concept we've got to take in, the first framework and principle, is understanding the art of using time so that it creates what it is that we actually want to get to. And you know what that is, right? It's called habits. See, if you want to get to a place in your life, if you would like to get to a place in your life, right, then you've got to look at the habits that you formed. Yep. You look at the habits that you formed in which you've used you use time to then do those habits. Then you can just look at your future and know what's going to happen. You can look at the future and say, oh, this is what's going to happen. Because if you show me your habits, if I show you my habits, then something has to come from the habits. When people see me, my brother saw me. My little brother Joe was at my house a couple of weeks ago, and I just come back from a run. I actually had this shirt on too, and we were talking. And he was just like, he says, "Look like you've gotten bigger. Like you look." He says he used the word, "Man, you've been bulking up a little bit." I'm not bulky because I'm still tall and slim, but I'm not sure if you can see that. I can kind of see that something has happened to my body. Why? Because of the time, the habits. What kind of habits did I form in diverting my time? First thing was, now a lot of times you can say, well, I don't want to do that. Wrong. Don't worry about what you don't want to do at this point. Here's why. Because way back when I was trying to stop drinking, the first time I tried to stop drinking, I said, I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I had a long list of I'm not going to do's, but here's what I didn't do. I didn't make a long list of have do's or must do's. I didn't do any of that. So if you don't do the must do's, if you don't do the will do's, then what's going to happen is you're going to keep looking at what you can't do or what you shouldn't do, and then you're going to go back to doing that. So you're going to master your life. You just say, today, this is what I will do. Yes, you want to say this is what don't say this is what I'm going to try to do. See, because when you say this is what I'm trying to do, then that's what's going to happen. You're just going to try. And then next thing you know, you're going to be saying to yourself, oh my goodness, it still didn't work for me. So you can't try. No trying here, guys. So you must say, this is what I will do. I said, I will go running. Yep. Decided to do that. I will go to the gym. Yep. At some point, I was doing 1,000 push-ups a day. I was starting to eat better and take vitamins and just, think better and, do different things that would put me in a place where I'm using my time, but by forming new habits. So if you want to get to a new place in your life, look at the time that you're using and then look at the habits that you can form over time that would get you where you would like to be. See, because what happens is life mastery comes through life mastery. Guys, I wrote this down on a card back in 2016 or 2017. I had been watching the series. It's not even a series, but it was a book called You Were Born Rich. And I was listening to this book on Audible by my good friend Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor did this book. It's a book, it's a program. It was a live seminar. Actually, I was listening to the live seminar, and that live seminar changed my life because in that live seminar, I learned new habits. And one of the habits that I learned in that live seminar was that he says, if you would just write it down on a note card, if you would write down where you would like to be and the habits the things that you would like to do in your life and who you would like to become, then you are destined to have those things. I didn't understand how that works. And I wrote it down. I am a life mastery. No, I am a life master is what I wrote down on a card. And here it is. Here it is about 5 years later. 5 years later, I'm talking about life mastery. I'm talking about how to master your life. And it starts with the use of time. It starts with forming new habits, but not looking in the past. Because here's what he says. He says, forget the past, right? Forget the past. That's what Paul said. Paul said, forget the past and press toward the mark. So if you press toward the mark, what is that mark? The mark is the target. Yes, the target. So when we look at ourselves and we say to ourselves, oh my goodness, I don't have something. You're not looking at the target. You have to look at the target. Once you look at the target, you say, okay, if I reverse engineer everything that I'm doing, if I reverse engineer all the stuff that I would like, guys, do you see that? I've changed the word. And I mention this for a reason. I've changed the word to a phrase: would like instead of want, because want means lack, and we do not want to lack anything. We would actually like the stuff that we like, because those are the desires of our heart. So when you change your ideas, when you decide to press towards, this is where I am going. Bob Proctor, in that same series, he had a portion of that series where he talked about let go and let God. A couple of days ago when we talked about connecting to the impossible, we talked and I share with you, some ideas about connecting to the impossible. Think about if you let go of all the biases that you have in your life. Do you think about this? Let go of the biases. Let go of, the situations that have come up in your life, because guys, situations are going to come up that you do not like. And once you see those situations, you can't dwell on them. You have to dwell on, if that's already happened, then what can I do now? I was just looking at this book that I read a couple of times. It's called The Power of Now. It's written by Eckhart Tolle. And I remember when I first picked this book up a few years back, probably like 2017. It might have been around 2017. And I was reading this book and I remember I was just blown away with some of the ideas in this book, because I want you to think about the word now. Everything is now. See, God lives in the now. See, a lot of times for us, we tend to live in the past and in the future. And you can't live in the past or the future. The future is something that's going to happen now. Write that down. The future is something that's going to happen right now, because every experience that we have is right now. It's not so every moment, because of this thing called time. Yep, I'm going to come back to time. Because of this thing called time, everything is right now. So when I read that book and I was just thinking about the power, think about the word power. You should think about this word. What does power mean to you? Power means force. What is the greatest driving force on this planet? What is it? God. God is the greatest driving force on the planet. What's the second? You should have heard that yesterday if you didn't listen. And I've said it before. The second greatest driving force on the planet is money. Most people spend their time on money. I know, right? I want you to think about it. We all spend many hours every day going after our desires to take care of our experience that sometimes we think, oh, the past is hurting me. Oh, sometimes we think, oh, it's the future that's going to be bright, when it's now that's the brightest. So as we close today, if you're going to master your life, what's the key principle here? Time. Now there's more, but I didn't give you all of the framework. I'm just giving you the first piece of it because I think this is important. You got to take time, right? You want to take time. And then as you take time and you come into the present, which is the now. See, the now turns into the future and the now turns into the past. So if that is the case, then all I have is now. Because there's no point in thinking about the past or the future. That's why Paul said, forget the past and press toward the mark. Press toward the mark. Get your target set. Get your ideas set of who it is that you're going to be. And right now, start moving by creating a habit. Just one. I'm going to start with one. One habit. What's the one habit you can form right now that would ultimately change your life, change your money, change your business, change your family, change everything? What's the one habit? Just one. Man, this is giving me an idea. What's the one habit you can form? Just one. No more habits. Just one habit. I got my habit. One habit. Change my life, change my business, change my experience, change my family, change everything. One habit. And what is it? The power of health. The power of focusing in on how I can go running, how I can use this thing called health to become the person that God said I would be before the world was formed. The word was formed and you were formed when that word was formed. And today, through this power, through this one change, you can become the person that you were created to be. So where are we going? Man, you're going to life mastery. How are you going to get there? Time and that habit, that one habit that would ultimately change your life. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of the Account for Life podcast.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.